Hey Beat Slashers, today I want to talk about getting better at ghost notes. Now, you might be telling yourself, God, I suck so bad at ghost notes, there's no way I can get better at them. I have tried, I just cannot read them. And to that I would ask you, are you using all of the options available the game gives you to make it easier to read, or are you just trying to brute force your way through whatever movements you may not have memorized? So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at what options we have that can make this easier for you.
Alright, why would anybody want to get good at ghost notes? Because ghost notes are the highest score buffing mod in the game. You get an extra 11% added onto your score just being able to read it, and without even having to put nearly as much extra effort as you would into faster or super fast songs. So just by learning to read ghost notes, you can give yourself a huge advantage and start climbing up the scoreboard pretty quickly. Let's take a look at some of the options here that you would want to change up. I'll show a couple videos side by side that will compare and contrast what it would look like without having to change these options. Let's take a look at why the optimal color scheme for ghost notes is Christmas colors. So, first of all, we want to black out all the background lights. We want to black out the walls as well. Make them all completely black. This is going to give you a completely black background that these ghost notes will really shine against, and you can see them very clearly. The best option that I've found for the colors are red and green. Red can stay on the left hand, but make sure you turn this all the way up to 255. And I chose green for the right hand because while we can do blackout in here, when we go to multiplayer, we can't do that. It's always a blue background, so green really shines against that as well. Now, why do these shine against each other? Well, because every pixel on every screen you've ever seen in your entire life is comprised of three colors: red, green, and blue. So when these colors are only one base color lighting it up, there's no washout at all. Pretty simple. If you want to really see how much of a difference that this specific color scheme can make against other ones that might be contrasting, check out some of the no arrow maps, like these ones here. We'll turn on a no arrow mod, so these are all just round dots, and you'll see that sometimes they wash out pretty easily, and that can carry over into maps where they have that going on as well. The idea behind this is to make this as easy as to read on a sight read as possible. So this is the color scheme that I have found to be best. Now let's talk about environments. I've just gone through a bunch of these, and I've found that overriding this to the triangle arena is actually one of the best for least obstruction. Now, that's up to personal opinion. There are a lot of them that really don't have any kind of obstruction. This is just the one that I have found myself happiest with. You can play around with it as much as you want, but the reason I started doing that is because I noticed, particularly with the rock mixtape, with the way the fretboard goes across, it gets real tough to read some of those. So overriding the environments is going to be a big help here as well. Alright, now that we got our color scheme and our environment set up, now let's take a look at some of these other options in here. Some of the ones that may not get too much attention. Now these, by default, trail intensity is set to somewhere around 0.07. This is going to affect the light that goes behind the saber, so for reading ghost notes, you're going to want to turn this all the way down to 0, because you can see the difference here where the light on the 0 trail intensity is not there. It's just whatever the saber is. Second one you want to turn on is reduce debris. This is going to affect what happens when you hit every note. After each note, each one breaks apart, and it's a visual effect. It really is nothing important. So turn it off and just get rid of that visual obstruction. This is a big one that really affects faster charts, especially, is hiding the note spawning effect. When this is turned off, there's a column of light behind each of the arrows that is also the same color as the arrow that you have to hit. So by turning that off, you get rid of the column of light behind it, and it makes it a lot easier to read. Another thing that I want to touch on is jump duration. Now, this is really just a verbal representation, and static as a numerical representation. I like using static because I like numbers, and plus it's a finer tune. I have found that, especially with some of these, it's easier to have it a little bit further back. And even when I'm doing faster song, I'll turn it up to 1 full second. That way I can see as much as going on as possible. Give yourself enough time and enough space to read these, and it'll be a lot easier. And that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. If you got something out of this, please give me a like and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. I'm hoping to see more competition on Beat Saber. Happy slashing, guys.